Everyone. Welcome to PRW 466 Technical Writing. I'm Dr. Elliott Parker, and I wanted to take a moment to introduce myself and to welcome you to the class and to let you know that there actually is another human being that's on the other side of the computer screen that's going to be working with you and interacting with you over the course of the semester as we move through the various modules and as we move through the various assignments in our Halo online class. I also wanted to extend an invitation to you that if you've never taken an online class before and you're a little bit nervous about taking an online class, please don't be. I think you will find that the way the class is structured and sequenced in the Halo course management system is very easy to follow and very easy to navigate. So I think you'll have a good experience with that. If you are a veteran of taking online classes, welcome back, and welcome back to Halo and taking online classes here at GCU. I just wanted also to extend an invitation to you that if at any time this semester you have questions or concerns about the class, or you need help, or you're struggling with anything, please feel free to reach out to me. Please feel free to let me know. That's what I'm here for. All of my contact information is in the syllabus. You can reach me in those ways, and I'm also willing to do Zoom discussions and Zoom chats at any time throughout the semester if you want to talk or work through any of the assignments, or you need help with anything going on in the class related to the class. I'm happy to do that. I'm even willing to work with small clusters of you if you want to break up in small teams and have sort of a group Zoom chat. I'm willing to do that as well. So please don't suffer in silence. If you are struggling and you need help, please let me know. You've got plenty of resources available to you through the Halo course shell in terms of library resources and other resources available to you, but please feel free to reach out to me if you have any questions or concerns. I would be happy to help and clarify any information or anything that maybe is confusing to you, or provide you any additional help that you might need. So in addition to this welcome, I just wanted to talk a little bit about the class, sort of in broad terms, what we're going to be doing this semester, some of the things that we're going to be focusing on in the class, and tell you a little bit more about me and my background and sort of where I came from. This is one of my favorite classes to teach, technical writing, because this is the type of writing that is going to really help you, not only with your degree program as you finish up your degree program here at GCU, but also as you transition into the workplace from being a college student and you move into the workplace. The skills and the concepts and things that we talk about over the course of the semester are going to be really applicable to what you're doing and what you're going to be expected to do as an employee. And it also makes you a much more marketable employee, understanding these concepts, knowing what some of these concepts are, and being able to demonstrate some of these concepts in your own writing. So I wanted to take a moment and share my screen here with you. And I have just a short PowerPoint presentation that I wanted to go over with you that introduces some more of these concepts and ideas in depth and just gives you sort of a blueprint for what we're going to be doing over the course of the semester. So I mentioned to you that technical writing is one of my favorite classes to teach. When we talk about technical writing, as we think about unpackaging that term this semester, one of the things that you want to keep in mind is this is the kind of writing that is used in business, in industry, and the professions. And so the readings and the writings and the work that we do over the course of the semester is going to be targeted for mainly those three groups of readers, those three groups of what we call audience groups. Those are the people that would be most likely to read and interact with the kind of work and the kind of writing that we'll be talking about and looking at and doing over the course of the semester. So as we move through the semester, we'll be talking a little bit more about these ideas and these concepts, and why does technical writing connect to some of the academic writing experiences that we've had. If you've had English 105 or some other class, writing class at GCU, how do those connect to that class and those concepts, but how is technical writing a little bit different? Because it is different in a lot of different ways. So we're going to be focusing on that going forward. Just a little bit of background about me. I did not become a college professor. That was not really a goal of mine early on in my career, but I have taught since 2006. I've taught at Marshall University and Mount West Community and Technical College. Both of those colleges and universities are in West Virginia, where I'm from. I've also taught at Ole Miss, or the University of Mississippi, and also at Grand Canyon University. In terms of what did I do prior to this, I was a technical writer for a company called Tri-Cities Media in Bristol, Virginia. I was responsible for writing sales proposals. I was responsible for writing contracts that our radio station would write and propose to network affiliates to carry network programming, national network programming, on our radio stations. So, for example, if we were going to carry an ESPN talk show on one of our stations, that had to be negotiated between our company and ESPN. And so I would write the contracts and lay out the specifications and kind of handle that. I also wrote advertising copy that you often hear read on radio stations during commercials. I would write that, and also did some on-air work as well as a reporter and as a voiceover guy and as a DJ and all of that sort of thing. So did a lot of work there at Tri-Cities Broadcasting, but technical writing was kind of my background. That's kind of what I focused on and kind of what I did as a professional. In terms of my education, I graduated from Marshall University. My bachelor's degree was in journalism. I got my MFA in creative writing at Eastern Kentucky, and then my doctorate in English at Murray State University. So was born and raised in West Virginia, got a lot of my education in Kentucky, and now here I am at GCU. In terms of some other things about me, my favorite food is spaghetti and meatballs. So if you have a great recipe, either yourself or from a family member for spaghetti and meatballs, we need to talk, because that is my favorite food. I could eat it every day till I exploded. So love spaghetti and meatballs. Something else I'll tell you about me is I'm also a stutterer. I've also struggled a little bit with a stuttering problem through most of my life. It's not as bad as it used to be when I was growing up. Maybe you are familiar with that or know someone in your family or friendship group that has suffered from that or currently suffers from that. But the only way I really overcame that as an adult was having to stand in front of people and talk and explain information and present information like I've had to do for many years as a college professor. So having to do that and having to really focus on my message and think about what I'm going to say has been one of the ways that I was able to overcome that. Something else I wanted to share about me is my two cats. These are my two cats, Buddy and Layla. Both of them were strays. Layla just turned 14, I believe. Yes, 14 in October of this year, and Buddy just turned 7 in January of this year. And so there they are. Buddy's the little orange cat on top. Layla is the gray cat with the green eyes on the bottom. Funny story, I bought that recliner to put in my living room and to be sort of my relaxation, TV watching, Netflix viewing recliner. And it was literally home for 5 minutes when that picture was taken, when I got it delivered from the furniture store. And you can see who automatically claimed that chair as their own. That was both of them. So it's kind of my chair sometimes, but it's also their chair most of the time. And if you have pets, I know you can relate to that. They tend to like the same sitting and sleeping spots that you do. So that's Buddy and Layla. They're great. Love them dearly and couldn't imagine life without them. And if you haven't had kitty cats yet, you're missing out. If you've never had a cat, life is so much better with kitty cats. But we can talk more about that later. Let's get back to PRW 466 and some of the things that we're going to be doing this semester. I talked about kind of the focus, that this is geared towards the concepts and ideas are geared mostly towards business, industry, and the professions. We're going to be doing some reading and writing over the course of the semester, looking at some sample examples of technical writing and technical documents that impact workplace communication. And also we're going to be looking at and focusing on audience. We're going to be focusing on research as a part of the technical writing process. We're going to look at technical manuals, and we're going to practice creating our own technical manual later in the semester. We'll be doing some discussion boards over the course of the semester. We will have some small paragraphs, and let me get this fixed here so that we have everything correct. That's what I get for typing fast and not paying close attention, but there you go. Discussion boards, small paragraphs, and clear and concise writing. So we'll be doing some discussion board, a lot of discussion board posts and interactions there, but we're really going to focus on this concept of small paragraphs and clear and concise writing. Both of those points are so pivotal when we think about how do we replicate and demonstrate business and technical writing in our own work and in our own writing and in our own way of creating information. So what are we going to be doing specifically in PRW 466? We're going to be really looking at and emphasizing and working on some of the reading and writing skills that you've covered in other English classes. So other English composition classes, maybe an introductory business and technical writing class that you've had at GCU or another institution. We're going to build on some of those skills. We're going to look at things like organization, things like having an introduction, a middle, and a conclusion. We're not necessarily going to have thesis statements and topic sentences like you would have in a traditional academic essay, but you do want to have a technical document that has a beginning and a middle and an end so that a reader can follow through sequentially with the information that we're going to be reading. We're going to be looking at and talking about what industry professionals and customers expect from business and technical documents. If you present them a technical manual, what are some things that they are going to expect? If you're targeting a specific business document or technical document for an audience group that fits a certain demographic, what are the expectations of that audience group or demographic? We're going to talk about graphics. How do we put graphics in our writing? Talking about using headings, using different fonts, using graphics to help communicate information. We typically don't do that in academic essays where it's all sentences and paragraphs, but in technical writing, it's perfectly acceptable and expected to use those different measures of communication. And we're also going to talk about what is working and not working within some of the sample technical documents that we examine over the course of the semester. So those are some of the things that we're going to be doing as we go forward. In terms of how are we going to get there, we're going to get there through some reading and writing exercises. We're going to look at some process descriptions, how to explain process steps that are really, really important in a business and technical document. We're going to talk a lot about audience and why different audience groups have different expectations of technical writing and what you need to think about and consider and keep in mind as you target those audience groups. We're going to complete an annotated bibliography, which will involve some of the research that I was talking about a moment ago. We'll create a sample technical writing manual. We'll be also doing those discussion board posts, as I was mentioning to you a moment ago. We'll be interacting with each other and sharing our thoughts and perspectives and ideas there. But one of the things I want to keep in mind is the first part of this class is a little bit didactic. It's a lot of this is what this is what the definition of this is, and this is how you do it. And then as we move through the later modules in the course, we'll have a lot more application of those concepts and terminologies in more complex documents, more complex writing. So a little bit didactic to start, but as we move through the semester, we'll start having a lot more application from those concepts that we learn early in the semester with regards to that. So I wanted to just let you know about that. How can you be successful in PRW 466? Don't fall behind on class assignments. Make sure that you interact and engage, especially with the discussion boards over the course of the semester, that there is a participation component that is tied directly to each module, and that oftentimes is connected to your interaction and activity with the discussion boards. And so you'll see that information when you log in, and some of the more specifics of that information are listed in the syllabus. Keep in mind that not every writing assignment is going to be easy. Some things you'll pick up on quickly. Some things might be a little bit more of a struggle for you, especially if this is your first technical writing class and you don't have a lot of background knowledge with the idea or the concept. So just maintain a positive attitude. Don't be afraid to try new things. Don't be afraid to put something in a different font. Don't be afraid to create a graphic to communicate information about something. Kind of find your style, your approach, and your techniques as a technical writer. That's really important. That's something I hope you'll work on over the course of the semester. As I mentioned earlier, please be free and feel free to ask for help if you need it. If you're struggling or you have questions, let me know. And just do your very best. Try to do your very best every week on every assignment. As you probably know, if you've taken other writing classes, writing is a process, and very few people, very few, in fact, I don't know, I shouldn't even say very few, almost no one creates a perfect document on the first draft. There is always improvements and always things that can be enhanced and revised with any kind of a writing document, but that's especially true of business and technical writing. So I just wanted to kind of lay that out for you in broad strokes and in a big picture, some of the themes and focal points we're going to be looking at over the course of the semester. Again, all of that is broken down in the syllabus and also in the class calendar and in the modules as we move forward. So again, welcome to the class. I'm really excited to be working with you this semester. I may be popping in with some more of these video lectures as we go forward, as we cover some various topics to provide a little more context and some more discussion into some of the things that we'll be talking about. So be on the lookout for those. But welcome, glad to have you. Please let me know if you have any questions or concerns, and let's get started.